The NFL has had some of the scariest athletes in the history of sports, and my team only has Chance Campbell and Bailey Zappi. So today we're building a team of the scariest players to ever play football.
The number 9 most feared tackler of all time, Steve Atwater.
Boy, that must have been the middle linebacker. Well, you can't realize. No, it's safety.
Steve Atwater was horrifying to play against, I'm sure, and he's the first player we're going to be adding to our team. We're going to go ahead and pick him up for 70,000 coins, and he's going to be our strong safety. And we're using documentaries, online articles, crazy NFL moments, because the proof's in the pudding, so we got to see what made them so terrifying. And since we just did a defensive player with Atwater, who's scariest on offense? Because we're going to see which side of the ball is actually a lot scarier by seeing which side has the highest overall after we build this team. Our next player is from an online article. It's Randy Moss. Surprisingly, Moss burst onto the scene in 1998 with 17 touchdowns and scored an NFL record 23 touchdowns in 2007. And the good news is he's got at least a few cards in Madden here with an 82 overall wide receiver and an 89 overall wide receiver card for 74,000 coins. I feel like that is just too low of a price for such a terrifying receiver to go up against.
The number 7 most feared tackler of all
Back to
time.
defense here, and of course,
no one can argue the guy can deliver a crushing blow.
he did that dance before every game that just made him... I feel like seeing my opponent do that dance would make me even more terrified of him than seeing one of my teammates get blown up in the run game from him. And he just got a new card for the most feared promo, which I think just fits so well here for 260,000 coins. Get out of here, Chance Campbell. You're not scary enough.
Certainly the one that everybody remembers is Christian Okoye.
Christian Okoye.
60 pounds as a running back and ran about a 4.40.
That shouldn't be physically possible. Let's see. He's got an 83 overall. Is that it? I could have sworn he had better cards than this. This is severely going to hurt the offensive chances. We'll pick him up for 8,000 coins if he's only got an 83 overall on the block. So I hope he's ready for some I formation because we're putting him in at fullback. Back to defense.
The 4 most feared tackler of all time, Ronnie Lott.
There has
Boy,
never
Ronnie
been a
Lott.
quarterback with the knack for arriving at the precise moment that the receiver touched the ball.
Oh, that one hurt so bad. Oh my goodness. Ronnie Lott, 82 overall free safety, 89 overall free safety. I feel like he should just have a 99 hit power card. Like, regardless of what his overall is, it should just be 99 hit power. 80,000 coins, and he's going to be our starting free safety. We've already got absolute killers at free safety, middle linebacker, and strong safety. Apparently, it only gets scarier from here, but that's hard to believe with the guys we've already got on the team. Back to offense, we've got Jerome Bettis. So we've got our fullback. Now we've got our running back. The bus was the fundamental piece of the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive game plan for the majority of the 1990s and 2000s, and finally got a Super Bowl in 2006, a true bulldozer at his position. I mean, if your nickname's the bus, I don't care what kind of linebacker's coming after you, you're probably pretty scared. At 69,000 coins, that's a pretty scary price for this card. If the defense has got to tackle Jerome Bettis, I mean, they got to have someone even bigger, right? Let's see who it is.
The number 3 most feared tackler of all time, Lawrence Taylor.
They're guys they talk about when they deliver a blow. It's like they got a ton of bricks in their butt. He was one of those guys, except he had 2 tons.
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
82 overall. He definitely has a better card than this, right? I mean, 82 can't be the best Lawrence Taylor card. We've got an 89 here for 81,000 coins. To get, like, one of the best football players of all time, I feel like that's a pretty good bargain. And he was coming after your blind side, so we're putting him at the right outside linebacker position. Ah, the chase down. Look at the speed, man. Not only is he like 6'4", but he runs like a 4.3 40, and he just tracks down Buda Baker. If I'm matching up against DK Metcalf, I'm terrified. Let's see, 83 overall, 91 overall. Oh my gosh, 450,000 coins. How do you not buy this guy? He's a freak of nature. And we're going to replace the very much less scary Amon-Ra St. Brown for the terrifying DK Metcalf.
Which is the DB you hate playing against the most?
I'm going to say a guy who I would put up there right with him is Charles Woodson.
Would he pick you off in practice?
Woodson.
Oh, yeah. And then he'd run the ball right to you and hand it back to you.
I'd say that's pretty high praise. Oh, and he's got a 91 overall card. Let's go. That is such a great matchup. DK versus Charles Woodson. Another 300K down the drain. I hope we have enough to build this team, man. Thank God we've at least got our first cornerback over Mike Hughes. I don't even know who that is, but he sure as heck is not scary. Our next offensive player, one of my favorites. Let's go. Iron Mike Ditka. Ditka was feared as a coach when he couldn't step on the field, so imagine Imagine what he was like when he could throw his 6'3", 230-pound body around during the 60s and 70s. And don't forget about throwing around that mustache. That is cause for concern and fear in and of itself. He's got an 82 overall and a 90 overall. We're going to go with the 90 overall version. It's only 90,000 coins, man. Let's go. Iron Mike Dicko, welcome to the squad as our starting and only tight end. I'll tell you what, our offensive line is still not looking very scary. But on the bright side, neither is our defensive line yet. So you know we've got some heavy hitters coming up soon.
Defensive back is like a closer in baseball. You have to be fearless.
Oh, okay. Ouch.
And Rod had that personality where he was going to go for it.
Oh, as a defensive back, he makes that play? Wow. Yeah, Rod Woodson. We've already got Charles Woodson. I feel like it just makes sense to add Rod Woodson as well. We got 82s, 84s, 86s, 88s. He's got to have like a 90, right? Oh, of course he does. It's 190,000 coins, but we're going to stick him actually at cornerback because his man and zone ratings are both 90 and 91, which is crazy high for a free safety. I only hope we get a terrifying quarterback because I don't think any of these defenders are going to be scared against Bailey Zappi. Looks like our next offensive player is an offensive lineman, Trent Williams. Imagine seeing that man come at you in motion. Look, I'm a small guy, okay? If I see like a 320-pound man running at me full speed, nah, it's game over. I'm done. I'm literally just ducking and diving at the ground and trying to run away. He's got an 88 overall. He's got a 92 overall for 300,000 coins. I don't see how we pass this up. 92 overall, Trent Williams is going to be protecting our blind side from some pretty terrifying pass rushers like Lawrence Taylor. All right, defense, who's next?
Most feared tackler of all time.
Number 2.
Night Train Lane.
He could deliver a blow that made receivers fear him.
A blow that would make receivers fear him. That's kind of sus, dude. As probably the hardest hitting cornerback, true cornerback in like the history of the NFL. 82 overall, 90 overall. I mean, I'm assuming 90 overall is his best. Yeah. 115,000 coins. Next question, bro. And I guess we'll put him at cornerback number 2. In the competition of highest overall offense versus defense, right now, defense is a little bit scarier with a 1-point lead, but we still got a lot of ground to cover.
I want your 5 scariest offensive players.
Okay, so
Guys,
number 5 on this list, I have to go with Quentin Nelson.
Quentin Nelson. I agree with this, man. And the scariest thing as a defender in my eyes would be getting put on the ground when you're supposed to be the ones that are doing the putting on the ground. Oh, he just got a new card too. How perfect. A most feared card because he's terrifying. See, we're not the only ones that think this. And thank God we got a better left guard because Marcus Hayes just wouldn't exactly terrify a defensive line. And just like that, the offense retakes the lead in the scariest, highest overall competition. Who will be crowned the winner? I genuinely do not know.
Number 1 most feared tackler of all time. Dick Butkus.
Butkus was playing at, what, 250, 260 at a time when the other linebackers were 30 or 40 pounds.
No way they torched him like that. Butkus, can you believe it, did not get a most feared card. He doesn't even have a card in Madden 23. And the last time I can find a Madden card for him was in Madden 19 4 years ago. I think we need to start a movement. Hashtag bring back Butkus. Triple B, baby. I'm gonna go tweet it over on Twitter. Links in the description if you want to tweet it with me or join the movement to get Butkus back in Madden.
And I just get there and try to kill him once he gets
Another Ravens linebacker, and he's gonna try to kill him, he says. That's Tom Brady being sacked by Terrell Suggs, which is perfect because he actually just got a card in this game. It's an AKA T Suggs T Sizzle is his name. Dude, I'm honestly terrified of him just by the name. Another Ravens linebacker to pair up with Ray Lewis. Terrell Suggs. Oh, Bobby Wagner. We don't even have a single Legion of Boom player yet. And Bobby Wagner hurdles the entire offensive line and blocks a field goal against a divisional opponent. Now, he's got a card that you had to, like, experience and play a lot of the game for, and I don't really play the game that much, surprisingly, so we actually don't have access to the card, but we do have an 85 overall B-Wags who's going to be our middle linebacker number 2. All right, who's up next?
Tom Brady, number 1 scary guy. You know why? When the defense is right there and you're going against Tom Brady, you see him, you start shaking a little bit.
Well, obviously Tom Brady is not that scary this year. But in the history of the NFL, I would say as a defender, he might be, probably the most terrifying quarterback to go up against because he's going to do things like 28-3 comebacks, and I don't want to face that if I'm on defense. Kind of fitting, though. His best card's an 86 overall. I mean, he probably shouldn't have a great card. The dude has not been exactly killing it so far this year. Killing it. Scary. The puns are just out of control. But one thing's for sure, he's a lot scarier than Bailey Zappi. This race is getting spicy because even after adding another offensive player, offense is still down by 1 overall point.
And let's talk about a guy who is scary fast, and that's Tyreek Hill. I think any defense would tell you when you're playing against a guy like Tyreek Hill, you have to make sure he doesn't run through your defense.
Yeah, Tyreek, I mean, that just makes sense. And he just got a brand new card, a 92 overall. I mean, it's just absolute fate. We've got Randy Moss, we've got DK Metcalf, and we've got Tyreek Hill. Scary fast for sure. But we still got to assemble our defensive line here, and I know there are some pretty terrifying players coming up on this list. Starting, of course, with none other but Warren Sapp, a beefy nose tackle with world-class strength and defensive end agility and speed. Sapp, for the majority of his career, was unblockable. And he just so happens to have an 89 overall card. Warren Sapp, 89 overall, for 120,000 coins. Our second defensive tackle is a guy by the name of John Randall. He wreaked havoc on the Minnesota Vikings for the entirety of the 1990s, and his face paint alone would send fear into the offensive linemen who were responsible for blocking him. Oh my goodness, 360,000 coins for this man. He better be a heck of a defensive tackle as a speed rusher. So now we've got a heck of a 1-2 punch with Warren Sapp and John Randall at defensive tackle. Good luck blocking both of these guys. But I think we still need another safety, which is perfect because we got Troy Polamalu. He not only has a knack for the big interception, I mean, the guy was a roamer, but he is still one of the more vicious hitters in the NFL. And Troy has Jesus talking to him in his ear, according to Pat McAfee.
Exactly where he had lined in film 100% of the time. And then as soon as I got to like the second cadence right before set, he just bounced his little right over to the C gap. And I like stopped everything I was doing and I literally just looked at him. And I gave him like a, what the f are you doing, man? Like, why are you there right now? And then I stood up and said, we are kicking it. We don't have it. We have to kick it. We are kicking this.
But that's what makes Troy Polamalu one of the scariest players to ever play the game. And that's why we're going to add him as our strong safety. And he's got a 90 overall card. This dude's a roamer. He might not be that tall, but hey, we got short kings out here on the scary team too. All we're missing on defense is 2 defensive ends. The first one is Bruce Smith, who according to this list is number 3 of the scariest players of all time. He possessed the extremely rare combination of defensive tackle size and strength and outside linebacker speed. Smith also probably had better footwork than any other defensive lineman in history. I mean, good luck to our offensive line. So he's got an 82 and an 89. Anything higher? Nope. 89 is his best card. Only 87,000 coins for one of the most dynamic power rushers of all time. I mean, yeah, say less. Another monster defensive end, Reggie White, was the most intimidating player in the NFL right before Bruce Smith. He often tossed offensive linemen aside with one hand, including Pro Bowler Larry Allen, but he also had the speed to turn the corner to get to the quarterback. When White was at the apex of his career, no one was more feared. If that's not high praise, I don't know what is. Where's his best card? No, he has a 90-something in the game, but this is going to hurt the defense because all that's available on the auction house right now is an 82 overall. Don't get me wrong, I like the discount, but that's disrespectful to one of the greatest. Our defense is fully complete, but our offense still needs 3 offensive linemen, which could be so clutch because right now offense is losing by 3 overall points. But after a ton of research, I could not find any videos or articles mentioning right tackles, centers, or right guards. So since the most feared promo is out right now, we're just going to be adding the highest overall offensive lineman from that promo. And after adding these players to our lineup with the snap of a finger, the winner of the Who's Scariest competition, offense or defense in the NFL, is a tie. Oh, that's so anticlimactic. I guess for every terrifying defensive player, there's a terrifying offensive player to counter him. If you like scary, then you're gonna love funny, which is what I encountered when I let viral NFL TikToks build my Madden team. Click up here to watch it.